ClickBank really is one of the worst offenders in terms of making claims. You can see in this screenshot video that I made right here. Here's the avatorial. And if you just go back at the top there, dropped 28 pounds in 4 weeks with this simple bedtime trick, no dieting required. That is as gross of a lie as you can make. That's just not true for most people who are going to take this. Like 99.9% of people who will take this supplement cannot experience those results. It would be impossible. So, all of these results aren't real. These are made up in order to sell a supplement, but it has nothing to do with reality. And they have studies cited in here, the copywriter, the offer owner, they have
Hey, research
studies.
scientist Andrew Lampert here, and these everyday women and men are about to discover a bizarre purple peel exploit backed by breakthrough studies from Harvard and Yale. It takes just 6 seconds to do, turbocharging your metabolism and easily and rapidly liquefying inches of deep, stubborn fat. Yes, it may sound impossible, but keep watching, as in the next 3 minutes, we'll not only check back in with them after just weeks of putting this natural, safe, calorie-burning hack to the test, and you'll be amazed when you see their surprising 36 pounds, 24 pounds, and even 57-pound fat loss results. But I'll show you, step by step, how to do it for yourself at home right now. I guarantee you've never seen or tried anything like this strange purple peel exploit before in your life. It's got nothing to do with useless meal plans, probiotics, or working out.
So I won't even finish that clip. And I went back to try to find the actual link, and it was already taken down. This was on Google Display Network. So these are the claims that they're making for the supplement, and the supplement does not do that. Now, if I go, let's see here, share my screen. If I go over here and just, for context, I wanted to see, the ingredients. This is usually a very quick and effective and accurate way of doing it. Now, I noticed, oh, there's some different formulations, right? I also noticed that in the some of the reviews that these do not include the ingredients they're selling and that they're advertising, I should say. So I go back over here and I see there's, okay, no consensus. So I take a screenshot of the one on Amazon. I get these. These are different ingredients than what are advertised. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, damn, if you're a supplement owner, this and you care, this has to be a shot in the gut to see people not only lying, but they can't even keep their formulas clear. And they're all with the same label, and it's all the same label that is in this ClickBank marketplace, right? So here's the product. You go back, and we can see, as a 492.9 gravity, lots of affiliates are selling this and earning commissions, making sales every day. So the sales are being made off the back of the avatorial, the VSL, that are completely untrue. So there's the purple peel formula, which is for the mitochondria. I guess they had a clinical style. I'm not sure if they are just using different white labels and just calling it the same thing. And I'm who knows? I mean, it's so wacky. But if we go with the purple peel, so in the ClickBank advertising, the purple peel is the hero. So, what ingredient would be shown as this miraculous purple ingredient, the purple peel, and what does it do? So, regardless of the formula situation and the fact that they are selling something that is based on claims that aren't true, like not even remotely true, every single claim about weight loss is a lie. So, again, as a supplement owner, you want to make sure that you can help keep your space clean so that you don't have to resort. And the only reason why people do this, why copywriters and business owners do this, because the ClickBank community nurtures it. If a business owner hires a copywriter to write for their ClickBank product, that copywriter is expected to make absurd claims. If they don't, the business owner will not pay them. If the business owner wants to do it in integrity, they will go into that marketplace and be fooled thinking that they can be in integrity and that super affiliates are actually going to touch it. They won't. They want the absurd claims, they want the easy money, they don't care about efficacy. And that's why I'm making another ClickBank video, because every copywriter who cares, every supplement business owner who cares should be complaining, filing an actual complaint with the FTC. Get this stuff taken down. Now, show me the full ingredient list for the purple peel version. What would it actually look like if we were doing this in integrity? If there were integrity to the claims and selling, these are good ingredients. There's nothing wrong with these ingredients unless, they're poorly sourced or poorly processed, too much heat denatures them and they become useless. And that's true for any ingredient, no matter how it's sourced, it has to be processed properly. So there are manufacturers that know how to do that, and there's ones that don't. So you want to look for the ones that do. Okay. Now let's get to see the purple peel. What is it saying? The mechanism. Okay. So what exactly is the mechanism for the Mackay berry? Is that how you say it for the purple peel? What is the core hero nutrient doing that is going to supposedly help me just melt fat away? It doesn't. No supplement does. If it did, it would be genuine news. Genuine news, not this fake direct response marketing news. They can occupy the same space and time. They just don't. Okay. So we're talking mitochondria, the prevent leaky mitochondria. Okay. hmm Flipping the switch from storage to burn. Okay. How is it flipping the switch from storing fat to burning it, kind of mimicking what sounds like ketosis, that you are burning calories while not in physical movement, that you can burn calories at rest? That would be the assumption. Okay. Mimicking ketosis. So is this a form of mitochondrial thermogenesis? Oops. So is this a form of mitochondrial thermogenesis? So what would be the average amount of weight a normal person who isn't increasing their exercise or changing their diet, if they were taking this at a therapeutic dose, what would be the average amount of weight the average person would be able to lose, if any? So, it's like if we were to take the B3, a non-flush B3 for NAD, right? Or NMN. We could say NMN does something similar because it amps up mitochondria and it can create that mitochondrial thermogenesis, but it's not going to help melt fat. Um, Again, if there's any impact, it would be indirect and very modest, slightly better blood sugar handling, make it easier to avoid fat gain. So these ingredients actually could help people with their blood sugar. Uh, it's just not presented in that way. So would it be fair to say that this would be more adequately or honestly or authentically presented as a blood sugar supplement? Break that down for me. So here's where the published studies are. And blood sugar is a hot market because there's so much sugar in our food. There's so much carb and complex carbs in the American diet, this standard American diet. Who's got the sads? So this would be not only more honest, but could absolutely help people with craving control and things like that. If you tell somebody's going to take a supplement, it's going to burn 20 plus pounds of fat in the first 30 days, that's just like, how are you even in business? How do you stay in business? Show me some opening lines about me. Let's say I have high A1C, my blood sugar spikes, I've got lots of visceral fat, lots of white fat, little beige fat, so we can include that in the conversation. But if we're talking about the blood sugar aspect, then how could we, in a value proposition, show me 20 different lines, opening lines of a value proposition, whether it's mechanism based, new cause based, deeper core based, all first person story based? Show me some examples of that so that we can get more of a sense of what this supplement really is. And, by the way, I'm not going off of what is actually being sold on Amazon, and people are getting different versions of a supplement. Who knows what the actual truth is? That's totally illegal to have all these different versions and being sold under the same exact label. So you could say my fat cells were just filling up every time I ate. All of that potential energy stored as fat, and it was impossible for me to get rid of. I didn't know that the energy factories inside of my cells were going too slow or dormant and causing the weight gain. But once I figured out how to jumpstart my mitochondrial functioning, I was able to start controlling my cravings. Now, that is not so much a positioning prompt because I have not given it too much clear positioning other than just blood sugar, which is very broad. So, in terms of having specific positioning in a broad conversation, I'd still need to figure that part out. But right now, I'm just isolating what actually is this supplement because whoever wrote the VSL is a child making believe, pretending, playing fantasy. And that is so dangerous when you have copywriters who are willing to say anything so that they can get paid, writing dribble that absolutely steals hope from people. Oh, I thought I was going to lose weight. Okay, so my cravings are a little bit better, but that's about it. I haven't lost any weight. I might feel a little bit more energy, but I haven't lost any weight. That could be more realistic, and helping people understand what the conversation is, and then empowering them with the lifestyle information to make better decisions that can still be delicious. Like, I could teach you, and I've used this example numerous times, not what to eat, but how to eat so that you can easily lose weight, because you're going to be eating a fraction of the food, because you now understand satiety. So leptin takes 20 minutes to get to the brain, right? From the first brain to the second brain to the first brain, vagus nerve. Now, how much food can the average person eat when they're really hungry in 20 minutes? A lot. So, hello, that's one of the reasons why we get so fat in America. But when you take small bites of food, you chew it for a minute, you wait a minute for the next bite, you're letting leptin catch up. So then you end up eating a fraction of the food and feeling fuller, getting more energy from it, and you can lose weight. That would be, without selling you a supplement, a much more genuine, authentic way to make any of these claims. And then if I start giving you the what to eat and how to truly nutrify your body, then we're talking. My doctor didn't tell me there are literally factories inside of my cells that burn fat. When these factories shut down, I can diet all I want, but I never lose weight. Once I figured out how to jumpstart these fat loss factories, I was finally able to get control over my cravings way more than I have in the past. Now, again, if I'm making stuff up or I'm telling archetypal stories, that's something I can say and be in integrity, have character, because I'm not making claims about time. I'm not making claims about weight loss. I'm talking about how there is a very real energy. There are very real energy factories inside of our cells. And if they shut down, it's hard to lose weight. And these ingredients have the ability to help jumpstart mitochondrial activity. Maybe not that much. Maybe for some people, they'll feel it more than others, which is always the case with a supplement. But if assuming that these ingredients are bioavailable, that they're actually having the potential to work, then things like, now we can start focusing on positioning, willpower. I like that. So let's take this one, 10 more like this. I got endless advice about cutting carbs, but nobody said a word about the tiny factories in my cells that actually burn them. Okay. Let's go with number three, and I want to see a 2 to 3 minute VSL really hitting the deeper core about how nobody talks about mitochondria in terms of weight loss. They always talk about it in terms of anti-aging, but these are the energy factories of the body, and if they can't burn, produce, and burn, then if they can't produce energy and they can't burn energy, then we will always store fat no matter what diet we go on. That's something that really could help people. And just that information alone can help people. So let me see that in a script. Let's see two different versions, 2 to 3 minutes, TikTok style. I always heard my doctor talk about calories, carbs, and exercise. Not once did anyone tell me that every cell in my body has tiny factories inside it called mitochondria. We only hear about mitochondria in anti aging circles, right? But here's the truth: these are the energy factories of the body. They decide whether food gets burned for fuel or locked away as fat. And when those factories slow down or worse, go dormant, no diet on the planet is going to work, because if your mitochondria can't produce energy and can't burn energy, then every bite you eat becomes storage. That's belly fat. That's visceral fat. That's why you feel drained and keep craving sugar. So now that we've applied positioning prompting to the copy prompting, we're able to see that, there's actual value in this. But when you treat it as a cure, or just make claims just because I want to sell as many as possible, and hopefully I don't get caught, and if I do get caught, hopefully I'll be able to pay for it easily, which, like Agora did that for their uh, type 2 diabetes campaign, or it was a weight loss, wasn't it? Whatever it was, they got slammed by the FTC, but they're still producing a lot of stuff that is maybe better, but still not in truth or integrity like we're doing right here, right now. This is truth. This is in alignment with what these ingredients can actually do. And that's a big difference than fantasy advertising, where I want to say whatever I want to say. Okay? Don't tell me. Don't tell me I can't. I want to. Everybody else does. And that's why we need to stand up for this real advertising, because if we take the time to actually understand what you're doing, you can put out authentic advertising and still make lots of money, and actually create an exit, and actually help people, and actually get real stories and care, because that's what we need more of in the world, and create community around it so that we can share what works and get rid of this bullshit. Appreciate it.